my friends. Rise and shine, it's time to ride again. Each year we're more tired and gray. We should move on and let others take our place. Isn't it weird how the times change? Once knew it all, I don't know anything. Many come, but few will stay. Some lose heart and some are taken away. It's a real grind, but it's a pleasure to stay. A league of brothers that will never stray. Isn't it weird how the times change? Once knew it all, I don't know anything. Summer friends, put on your boots and let's ride again. Somebody needs to tell our story to these kids. They just don't know that there's a great life for them. Well, let me unmute you like I was planning to do. I'm going to ask you to unmute. You have to hit the button, evidently.
There we go.
Welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk Live. Chris is here. Chris, how are you?
Great. How y'all doing?
Everybody's fine out there. I can go ahead and tell you they're doing great, except for my HVAC life. He's an unhappy person. I'm just kidding. He gave me that. Well, he sent me the great shirt. Backstory here, real quick. HVAC Life lives next to one of the finest places to eat on earth, is the Redneck Barbecue Laboratory. And it's actually, get this, it's a barbecue lab, but it's next to it's actually part of a gas station. So it should not work out where you feel good after you leave there. It should be something where your intestines are writhing, but it is awesome. And he lives near there, and he sent me the shirt, so he's all right by me. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Man, there's some gas stations that have just phenomenal food. I mean, it's like there's this one. I actually got a job. It's out in Kilo Island where I got to go to, and there's this gas station that's right before it. It's called The Station, and every time I go there, it's the best cheeseburger and seasoned fries. I look forward to it. I mean, like I'm literally, it's on my schedule to go there and get food tomorrow.
Okay, is this a gas station like that? There's like a restaurant attached to it, or it's the gas station's actual food?
So it's like a normal gas station. They got like the convenience stuff, and then they actually have, it's kind of a restaurant. I mean, they don't really have a place to sit down, but they have a whole menu you can order from. So
wow. Yeah. Well, there's also there's a pizza, and I can't remember the name of the pizza. I think it's Hunt Brothers. There are lots of gas stations.
Yes.
I've eaten that many times. It's not awful. It's all right. Especially after working all day. You know, it's like you like the pizza. The pizza warmer is like sits inside of that thing, a little triangular box.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's great. I like it. I like it a whole lot. I've always ate like awful food, and I think it's fine. I don't have like the culinary thing. Like if Gordon Ramsay comes to my house, he's gonna be like, "This is all awful." I was like, "It tastes great to me. It's just salty, I guess. I don't know what it is."
Yeah,
well,
apparently awful food can lead into surgery. I had to have I'd have part of my colon removed a couple months ago, and because I kept getting diverticulitis, and so yeah, that was fun to say the least. I couldn't lift more than 10 pounds for like 8 weeks after the surgery. So so it was a lot of having my son ride around with me and adapting to things and
That's awful.
not used to having to rely on somebody else to do stuff for me. I mean, because I just want to go and get it done. It's why I've been
Yeah,
in business as long as I have. I mean,
that's awful. The people I know that have had diverticulitis say it's one of the worst things you can have. It's just
oh, it
miserable.
sucks. It sucks. I went before I had my surgery because I had surgery back in February. Before I had the surgery, 3 times last year, I had to go to the emergency room. One time, I actually had to be admitted into the hospital because it caused a little cyst or something, and I mean it was
Mm.
and I pushed it off as long as I could. I mean because I was just and it was like every like 5 to 6 months I get a flare up with it, and I finally, I had one in October, and then I had the surgery pushed to February, and I was like, I'm not pushing it back anymore because I just know another flare up's going to come if I don't. So, but
Good grief. So, first of all, I want to say on a different note, there's something rattling whenever you're hitting your desk.
oh, I'm sorry, that's probably me tapping around. Sorry, I'm very
No,
fidgety, so
it's okay. I just was going to warn you about it. It's fine.
I
But
try to keep my hands still.
it's like, I don't know how I do it. I have a microphone on a boom only because I can do whatever I want then.
I'll text you my professional setup on the side because it's kind of
Okay.
embarrassing. So
Well, I don't know. I'm supposed to be a professional, and if you look at my stuff, 2 of the 3 monitors are televisions that are old televisions. I don't know. It's like
I mean,
junk on the
I've
side.
got a box of Legos behind the computer that people can't see to balance my microphone just right. So
Well, I have 2 landscape pavers under my laptop to raise it up slightly, and the buffer between the landscape paver and the computer is a piece of cardboard. Because I'm not an animal, I'm going to put something there.
that's how we're all professionals at this point. I mean,
It's right off screen. That's where the professionalism ends. It's like
exactly,
professional. Nope, not anymore. Nope, not anymore. Yeah.
exactly.
So uh, you own the business, and you have diver. If you get your colon part of it removed, you're out of the running for like working. What did you do during that time period?
So the first week and a half sucked. I mean, I was just uncomfortable, and it finally just because I had the surgery on a Monday because it was February 5th, and then I think it was like the Tuesday a week later. I woke up and I kind of felt like myself. Like I literally went to Home Depot. I went. I mean, I would got left the house for like a good like 3 4 hours because I just was getting claustrophobic from being in. I'm not used to being in the house all the time, and because I'm used to just going out and working every day. And then, but like once I got past that point, and then I was working, but I had my son with me because I couldn't pick up. I mean, man, I got a Vito Pro Pack tool bag, and that thing probably weighs about 50 pounds with everything in it. And
Mm.
I was like, there's no way I can pick up my tool bag, so I'm gonna have him come with me everywhere. So,
So he carried your tools around while you worked.
oh yeah, I stood there and guided him and told him what to do. I mean, that's
Oh, so
just
he did the work. Like
yeah,
he did
yeah.
the work.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So it was a good training thing because actually, this is the first time I've actually gotten to take the chance to have him ride around with me, and and teach him the stuff to where he can kind of understand it and realize that like he understands and comprehends things in like a different terminology. And once I got that, then I could explain it to him better to where he would get what I'm saying. Like with like when I would say like if the contactor's closed, it doesn't have continuity as an example,
Hmm.
and so he would see it as closing the circuit. And so once I realized that's how he was understanding it, instead of like he just wasn't getting the way I was saying it. But then once I realized just the way his brain was thinking, then it started to click, and then I could explain it to him better where he'd understand stuff. So it's definitely helped. So
That's good for communication right there. So why does
Otis,
he
Otis,
speak in a different way? Are you speaking like HVAC lingo, and he's
I guess.
speaking like electronics lingo or
Yeah,
something? I mean, what's the difference?
I think that's what it is. Because like I'd be like does I'd be like hey, because like he was asking like about I can't remember if it was a float because we'd have like 2 or 3 float switches in one system because there's an outflow. We installed that there was the pan float switch, then there's the inline float switch and the condensate pump float switch. So you put them in series, and so this way if one craps out because the drains clogged or something, it'll shut the whole thing down. And so like I'd like I don't know, you just one connects to the other, connects, and it just, goes from point A to point B is how I see it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's seeing it as, it's like, circuit one's going to circuit two, going to circuit three, and and so because he was like, well, it's completing the circuit, and so I guess he's looking at it as electronically, and I'm looking at it as HVAC lingo because it's just how I've always learned it and taught it. So
Well, that's good though. I mean, that might actually improve your understanding of some other stuff that
yeah,
he knows about. So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, he was part of. If this is the same guy that was here a second ago helping us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I mean, you can learn something from him, and then we can do this easier next time.
Oh yeah, trust me. I mean, that's one thing that helped with communication with us. I mean, it's just because I would say something and I'm like, why don't you understand what I'm saying? And and then when he would try and explain it back, and then like he was just using different terminology, and then I understood what he was saying. So then I just re-explained what I said using his terminology, and then he would get it. So
that was great. So was he excited to do all this, lugging your tool bag around and
learning?
I
At first, neither one of us were. I mean, because I like
sounds like fun.
I'm just used to grab and go. I'm not used to relying on somebody. I'm not used to somebody. It's just how I've always been. And and then so the fact that I was having to rely on him for everything, like at first I thought it was going to just absolutely suck. I mean, but after like the first day or so, I mean, I think it helped our relationship with this happening, because like I mean things were going on where it was just, I don't know, I didn't understand why he would not understand something, like if I'm explaining, I'm like, why don't you get this? What doesn't, what is not clicking? And then, realizing that he just understands it differently, then, it helps. The communication has definitely improved a lot between us. So
that's really
definitely
good.
Grateful for that.
Yeah, because you never want to be the guy who says, why don't you get this? Because it comes off like the water boy, and the guy's going, what are you, stupid?
Exactly.
That's what it seems like.
Exactly.
Which you're a big fan of great pop culture. You're wearing it. It's behind you.
Oh, yes.
Facebook tells me you watch a lot of movies. Like all the Marvel movies.
Oh, yes.
So is that like the thing? Is that like the pastime you have?
Yeah, so like every year we restart the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Start with Iron Man, and then go all the way through every movie in sequential order. I mean,
what don't you mean the Incredible Hulk?
Oh yeah, I mean it's Iron Man, and then I think it's Iron Man 2, and then I think it's the Incredible Hulk. I think is the order. Incredible Hulk is either before or after Iron Man 2. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I don't know now either. I thought it was before all of them, but I guess I don't really know.
Well, so there was one that came out in 2003, but that wasn't tied in with the MCU.
Yeah, not that Eric Bana one. No.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
no.
I think Mark Ruffalo has been the best Hulk. I mean, just that's a personal opinion, but
Lou Ferrigno wasn't available for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I know, right?
And what's funny is like you have a guy like Ruffalo, and you compare him to not Ed Norton, because Ed Norton's kind of an unlikely guy too.
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno's like, hey, how's it going? And then you have someone like, especially Ed Norton, because he's kind of a little weirdo sometimes. But
no joke, like I used to absolutely hate watching the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk. I used to hate it, and like over the years of rewatching it, actually I enjoy it more and more, because it just how much it ties into the storyline of everything. I mean,
yeah, you got to watch them all. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about Marvel forever because we can't. I could.
I think we did that last time, I mean, so, we got to mix it up a little bit and actually talk about heating and air stuff,
You like Indiana Jones? No. Okay, I just want to know, which one do you think is the best of all of them?
Civil War.
Oh, man, see, I love Civil War. I thought Civil War was, if not the best, I like Infinity War. I think Infinity was pretty good, because of the ending was so good, and I just like the fact that he won, at least for a little while. But okay, all right, I love Civil War. I think that's an awesome one. So that's good. We're on the same page here.
Yeah. Exactly.
You like Hill Street Blues? Oh, it's a great show. It's really old. How old are you? You're older than me, right?
42.
You're younger than me. Okay, you're not older than me. Why did I think that? I don't know. Sorry about that. I have all this gray hair, and I'm like, you're older than I am. Nope.
Oh, I got plenty growing in mine too, so you know.
Okay, you can really see mine though. If I shave it off, I go back in time, but I save that for like a dramatic reveal.
See, I think the last time we talked, you had just shaved your beard, so that's how long it's been. So.
Oh yeah. So now it looks like I haven't been here like 25 years or something. It's like, what? You just come down from the mountains, Moses? I mean, what are you doing? All right, so let's get into some HVAC stuff. Man, that would have been a good sponsor break, actually. I should have done that. Hey, let's have a sponsor break. So just chill out for a second. I'm going to do a sponsor thing, which you won't see, but I'll just go ahead and give it away. I mean, they're just great sponsors. All of them. Everybody use them.
Got to make some money. I mean.
That's right. Let's make some money, and in 2 minutes, I'll see you again. How's that?
Sounds good.
Here we go. If you run a home service business like painting, contracting, lawn care, or cleaning, your to-do list is endless. From hiring staff to mountains of paperwork, not to mention doing the actual work that pays the bills. Jobber is a mobile and online app that helps you organize your business and look professional. With Jobber, you can quote jobs, schedule your crew, invoice, and get paid all in one place. Try it free today at getjobber.com/shop talk. It's time for a new product announcement, Yellow Jacket style. Oh yeah, new stuff from Yellow Jacket means we're getting nice new tools that we can all fall in love with. This is the brand new Y-Jack Flow, part number 67069. The Y-Jack Flow is a wireless anemometer that hooks up with your smart device through the Y-Jack View app and allows you to measure airspeed and calculate CFM, so you know exactly what's going on in your system. And although it comes with an 18-inch probe that collapses down to 13 inches, you can get a 36-inch probe for larger ductwork. And unlike a lot of other tools out there, it has a 2-year warranty, but it's also made in the USA. This is the Y-Jack Flow, and you can find out more at yellowjacket.com. All right, as we return, and I ask him to unmute, because I have to do that now. I have to ask you to unmute for some reason. Zoom. Yeah.
I am unmuted now.
He's unmuted. And let me tell you, you people out there, the reason why we were on Zoom, I was like this close to saying I'm going to choose StreamYard again because I just don't know what else to choose. And then StreamYard tried to bill me again. Like 2 days ago, it's like, what are you guys doing over there? It's like they've been trying to bill me errantly for like the last 4 months. So I couldn't do it. So I found Zoom, and Zoom seems to work. So there we are. Got to get, I like this. I lean over to the chat. The chat's such a weird angle compared to, I'm talking to you, and then the chat's over here. And my HVAC Life, who is probably the most positive person that I know, says, got to get American Home Shield as a sponsor when this guy is on. So.
I know, right? I mean.
American Home Shield. We didn't even talk about your home warranty stuff yet. I want to talk, let's talk about that compressor you were talking about before this whole thing started, because now that you said part of your colon was removed and you got to take out a huge compressor, I mean, tell me about that process.
So, yeah, I mean, granted, I'm back to full whatever. I can lift whatever I want to. I mean, there's no restrictions on me, but yeah, so there's this church, it's this church my son he went to private school to. It's just a little small church. I mean, and so they have, most of the units there are like residential style units and nothing more than 5 ton. They have 2 units that are like commercial grade units, and one of them is a 10-ton system that we found that the compressor and reversing valve had to be replaced. And so yeah, we had to. That was a fun adventure we did this morning.
Yeah. Where was the reversing valve located? Was it easy to get to or not?
Yeah. It was a carrier unit, so it was like kind of like, so the compressor was off to the left, and then the reversing valve was kind of like almost like in the dead center in between the 2 fan motors, kind of laid horizontally. So it wasn't too bad to. I mean, I whenever I change a reversing valve, especially one like that, like I literally take the Sawzall and cut all the pipes off, and then I unsweat them all afterwards. And then this way, it's all the right length piping, and then kind of put it together like a glove. And
yeah, it could be a nightmare. So that's a good idea.
I hate
anything that makes it
valves.
simple. Yeah, get as much access as possible, no matter what you have to cut. Is what I say.
Oh yeah, whenever any like typical residential one I do, like I literally will cut the three pipes, the 3 suction pipes or whatever, and I'll cut them in 3 different places, and then I use my so I can unsweat each pipe and then put it in the new reversing valve to kind of get it put back together. And I'll put I have a tubing expander, the Navac NTE11H, I think is what it is.
Wow, that's good. You're not really required to know the model number. Tubing expander from Navac. We'll understand what you mean.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah, so
hydraulic.
yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I'll use that to essentially make the half a coupling if people who don't know what a tubing expander does. And
Hey, guys, it expands tubing. Back to you, Chris.
yeah, and so yeah, I'll solder the three pipes on the new reversing valve, completely external to the unit, and and then this way I can just put the three other pipes that are far away and not have to worry about the reversing valve getting too overheated and everything else, because those are
You don't want that.
it's
You
terrible.
don't want to do anything twice when it comes to reversing valve.
That's what I hate about reversing valves. It's happened a handful of times, and it's the most infuriating thing ever.
Wait, so have you put the valve in before and like maybe
It'll
overheated
stick.
it?
Yeah, it'll stick, and it's like, and I'm just like, it'll be like working and cooling, and you go to test it for heat, they won't move, or it'll be stuck in the middle, and I'm just like, and I'm just so frustrated because I know I got to do everything all over again.
That's awful, because it's not just like I had to do it again. You think about the whole process. Like, I got to evacuate the unit. I got to do this. I got to pull a vacuum. I got to do all that stuff again. It makes you want to just go home.
Oh, it's. I mean, there's been times where I'm just like, I'm saying a lot of bad words.
Yeah. I've done the same thing, by the way. I've had it where I've done it. It sticks, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It was like raining. I had like an umbrella over me. It was like I was close. I was close to snapping. It's really bad. But yeah, don't let me stop you there. So you're changing out the reversing valve, which wasn't so bad, and then the compressor, which is really huge.
Oh yeah, this compressor probably weighed about 200 pounds by itself. Luckily I have this thing. It's a comp lift. It's a compressor lift. It's got two bars, two with triangle feet, and then it's got a crossbar, and I know I'm being all technical with it, but it's got a chain pulley on it, and I mean, it makes it simple to lift. I mean, it was amazing how you sit there and you're just yanking a chain, and the compressor's just lifting up without even having to break your back to move it. So
yeah, I had the pictures on the screen while you're talking. You don't see them, but the comp lift pictures from that website are up there, because
it's worth every bit of the $1,500 I spent for that thing. Every dime. I mean,
so it says heavy duty number 1, 2, 3, and 4. What do you have?
I think it's either number 1 or number 2.
All right, so let me just check out number 2 while we're up here, because there's 4 different ones, and some of them look pretty beefy.
No, this thing it's 3 simple pieces, and because because there's 2 pieces of the same height, and they got adjustable pins that you can raise the height of it, and it literally takes me 5 minutes to put it together by myself. I mean, it's very simple. And
it looks simple. Yeah, this one, the number 2 is gray. It looks like it's 3-piece and looks pretty simple. And number 1, let's see here. Number 1, is it almost the same thing? I don't know.
I don't remember. I know, like,
won't load.
Like, it's, if you go to try and buy it, it says you can buy it at Home Depot, and yeah, I bought it through Home Depot, and then it took months for it to attempt to be ordered or sent or something, and then so I just was like, cancel the order. I was like, whatever. I was like, cancel the order. Give me back my payment on my card, and because the local train dealer had it here in stock, so I just bought it from them.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have a motor or no?
No.
Okay, so number 2 is no motor. Number 1 looks like it has a motor. So,
okay.
There we go. There's the answer there. For everybody who doesn't want to hurt their back, get the comp lift. Everybody's, there's versions of that, like the 2-step ladders with the string or something like that.
I bought a ladder crane before I bought that one, and the videos on the ladder crane make it look like you can hold it with one hand, and it's got a motor and everything with the pulley on it and stuff, and I used it twice, and I got mad and I flung it. and because
Wow.
the ladder kept slipping, and the stupid thing hit me in the head the last time I used it, and I got so mad. I freaking flung it across the yard. I was so mad at it. I was like, this is such a waste of money.
I'm gonna look that up. The ladder crane, because I can't remember what it looks like. He got hit in the head. You got beat up by the ladder crane, man?
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, this is so infuriating because I was trying to find something to, not make it. Because I mean, we changed so many compressors throughout the summer. It's ridiculous. We're in Charleston here, South Carolina. If those of you who don't know where I'm from, well, I'm in Somerville, which is just outside of Charleston. Company
Charlestown, yeah.
Company name is Flowertown Heating and Air. If I don't say this, my dad's going to get mad at me and ask me why I didn't mention the company name on the podcast and everything else. We're on Facebook and Instagram. I don't have a website. I'm not that fancy. But yeah, so Flowertown Heating and Air. We're in Somerville, South Carolina, just outside of Charleston. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So it's going to be in the high 80s, almost 9. I think it's going to hit 90 Thursday and Friday here. And
Yeah, it's crazy.
and I mean, it's so. I mean, when it starts doing that, that's when stuff starts really breaking down. Just because it goes from not working to working as hard as it can, and I mean, I think I don't remember how many compressors we changed last summer, but I know how many we cashed in at the scrapyard. I think it was beginning of last year, and it was over 200 compressors we had in the pile, and the total weight by the time we were done was 14,000 pounds of compressors.
14,000, man.
14,000 pounds of compressors that we took to the scrapyard. It was 2 trailers plus I was looking for some cheap labor help or whatever, and biggest mistake, I'll never do it again. But you ever heard that college hunks will haul away your junk, whatever?
Yeah, like the movers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I was like, cool. A couple of young guys will come and help, whatever. And we'll knock this out. Everybody make, a buck and we'll move on. Well, I told them, I want them there as close as 8 o'clock as possible. They didn't show up till almost 9:30. And by that point, we had 2 trailers full. And by the time they showed up, and then they showed up with this giant dump truck. And I was like, what in the world? I was like, no. I told my guys, I got Joe, who's my son, who was helping us before we got started, last minute, getting ready, 3 minutes before the show's supposed to start,
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then Colby's my other employee I have. And I told them when they started putting stuff in the dump truck, I said, do not help them. I was like, I'm paying them to do this. I was like, I don't care how much they fuss and complain about it. I was like, we've done more than half of what we're supposed to do here. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's frustrating. Were they at least attractive? I mean, is it false advertising?
No joke though. I mean, at the end of the original agreement was 3 guys for 2 hours minimum. So only 2 guys showed up, and then they showed up an hour and a half late. And then, I mean, I was literally calling the local guy because it's a national chain. Then they have local franchises, whatever. And so I literally was calling the local guy. He wouldn't answer the phone. I had to call the national account to get them to get a hold of him so he could get back to me. And I was like, because I was like, you said 3 guys were going to be here. There's only 2. I was like, and then they didn't show up till 9:30. I was like, what the heck's going on? Well, anyways, these guys at the end, man, they were like, man, this job isn't even worth the cost of my shoes. And I'm like, what the heck? I was
like the guys said that to you?
To me. I was like, why would you complain about something that I'm paying you for to me? I was like, that just blew my mind. I was like, wow.
So were they like college age guys?
Yeah. They had to be in their 20s. I mean, somewhere in there.
So they're just dumb kids saying dumb stuff because their brain doesn't realize how dumb it is, what they're saying. It's like no filter. Oh, I've never heard of using those guys for something like that. I've always imagined them toting somebody's couch.
Yeah, so, because I thought the same thing. So when I initially asked about it, I explained everything to the local rep. I sent him pictures of the pile of compressors we had. I told him what was going to be involved in the job. I gave him every detail possible, and I was so frustrated. I was like, next time I do something like this, I'm just gonna like pay some friends or something to help, and because that was just the most.
Be cheaper too, probably.
Oh, I'm sure. So
let's have a barbecue or something like that. Redneck barbecue, right? My HVAC life. Yeah. Oh, That's a good idea. Though I just didn't pan out, I guess. But a good theory about something that would be helpful theoretically. Maybe when you told them about the compressors, they weren't that excited to come over because they like, hey, there's like a million compressors. Each one of them's going to be a minimum 75 pounds. So and then they go up from there. And the guy's
Yeah,
like, you know
I mean,
what? Let's just run a little bit late and see how far along this guy is by himself. Just like we used to do in the trade, like show up late to a job, like drive around a job like 3 times. It's like, did you get that piece of ductwork under the house? No, I was waiting for you. Yeah.
exactly.
And don't I've definitely done that because everybody's been young and done stuff like that, and man, it never works out. It's always like, yeah, I got the ductwork, but there's some water on the other end. I need you to run all the runouts down there. Oh, yeah. That's a bummer. But you have to do all that stuff yourself, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Hey, good for you.
I love it though, man. I've had my own company for 16 years, and I mean, I know everybody harshes on home warranties, but I mean, that's
Not here.
all.
Not here, friend. Not here.
That's all I've done. I mean, 80% of my business ever since I started in 2008 has been home warranties. I mean, it's and there's 4 main ones out there, and it's just a matter of knowing how to balance it. And I mean, the nice thing is, like, American Home Shield started this new program. It's called an upgrade program. So if like you go there and you find a bad compressor, and so because like more than half of the accounts with American Home Shield, they don't cover Freon, so the homeowner has to pay the cost out of pocket for Freon. And so, well, so with the upgrade, American Home Shield will take the cost of the compressor and everything involved in the job. They can get compressors tremendously cheaper than anybody ever can. And so, like, their out of pocket might be give or take, or they'll put $1,000 towards it. I always do this for simple math to make people understand it. And so, if they put $1,000 towards it, and if you were going to have, $1,000 in Freon, you're going to have to pay out. And if the job total is going to be $5,000 minus $1,000 from American Home Shield, so it's $4,000. You already had $1,000 for the Freon, so I mean, technically, you pay $3,000 and you have a brand new system in the house. Again, this is basic numbers, not anything that's realistic in any way, shape, or form. But they can. It blows my mind how cheap they can get this equipment for, though. I mean, it's amazing how. I mean, I would rather replace a system over changing a compressor because it's depending on the system. I mean, sometimes it's just easier to change the compressor and be done with it, but then sometimes it's like we got one we're doing tomorrow. It's an upflow in a laundry room, and the condenser is about shin high on the stand. I mean,
that shin high is good. It's where they're like 12 foot off the ground because you are near the coast. So you get into ones that are like on a 12-foot stand.
Oh, it happens. There was one. I mean, there's been so like when it comes to those, I ran a duck jack. I mean, I refuse to. I'm not doing anything. Stupid where you set up the ladder. I've seen where guys set up a ladder and one guy's
hold on a second. Now let me run something by you. This is something that I've done in the past. So what it is, you don't buy the duck jack. What you do is you go get your existing extension ladder. But not one ladder because that's too thin. You get 2 ladders. That makes it safe. And then you push and you get long ladders. Now they sag a little in the middle, so you might have to put another ladder underneath it at its apex so it can boost that whole thing up. It works like a charm. Now when you get to the middle of it where the ladders cross, sometimes there's a hitch there and you got to shove the unit really hard. Sometimes it falls off the ladders. But it's sandy at the beach, so it catches it.
Oh my gosh. That just I've seen we had a package unit we did in Daniels Island, which is just off of it's halfway to Mount Pleasant between Somerville and Charleston. And anyway, so it's an island. So essentially, most of the units are on stands about 10, 12 feet up in the air. But we had a package unit we had to do. I rented the duck jacks. I bought oh gosh, what the heck's it called? What's the metal thing called you put under an air handler, like if it's hung?
Unistrut?
Yeah. So I bought a stick of Unistrut, cut it in half, and slid it in the forks of the duck jack, so it would have extensions to get completely under the package unit. And
Oh,
anyways,
nice.
so I mean, it worked out great. I mean, we put a strap around it as we were going up to, because it's so much anxiety getting this thing up in the
Hey, I'm
air,
sure the
and
strap is going to keep it there. It's going to be fine.
it'll never, it ain't going anywhere. So the homeowner told me the neighbors just had their unit replaced, and he's like, there was like 7 guys out here, and I was like, oh my god! And the thing was crooked. I mean, on the stand, it was sitting crooked. I was like, how? Why? And it's a brand new unit, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
It's going to be rusted away next week anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's so
It's
you
gonna
see the
fall off the
ones.
stand, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean it falls apart. It's crooked. It's not crooked. If you look closer, it's just that it's collapsing on one side. It's not crooked. That's funny. The best one ever seen was the one where there was no fins on the unit. It was still in operation. It was just coils. No fins.
Oh yeah.
And the fan was just dragging some air across it. It was hitting the copper, I guess, and cooling it somewhat because it was still going. You know, it was impressive actually. That was a carrier pain something other.
Oh yeah. I mean, those things, they don't last, especially if they're right on the beach in some way, shape, or form. I mean, 5 years max, if that. And
Absolutely, absolutely. If they're on the side, if they're exposed on the sides of the house, definitely not on the beach side. They don't do that, I don't think. But it's like 5 years is the maximum. And the first unit in the row, if there's a row of 4, which I remember seeing this, the first unit is dust. The second one is partial dust. The third one, the compressor came out the bottom, and the fourth one is just kind of leaning. But the first one's always the worst, man. It's like this thing isn't even together. It just happens to be resting on the platform because the base pan's rotted all the way around it. It's a miracle. Way to go, Goodman. You made a good one.
I don't know what it is with your hating Goodman, man.
These were Goodmans. These were actually Goodmans in this particular story, although I do in fact hate them.
I don't get it, man. I love Goodman equipment. I really do. I mean,
well, this is madness. No, couldn't. It's not that I hate Goodman, as I have some bad experiences with them while I was selling them. Now, I actually kind of like them okay because they're really simple, and I like that. So it's really it's a mixed bag, Chris. Really. So I mean, I don't hate them per se.
I mean, I'm sure you would like the newer design of them now because, like, I get why, especially with the older design where you have to change the fan motor, you got to take the whole top off, and then when you go to put the top, you can't get the side to line up, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Put tape on it to keep them together. Yeah.
With the new ones, I mean, they made it where it's got like the actual ring, where you can just take the fan motor off without having to take the entire thing apart. And
oh yeah, I had a few like that. That just the higher you went up in the efficiency scale, all of a sudden they had nice grills on top and stuff. It was beautiful. But the lower ones, they were, they were just bad. But they were better than the older ones, though. I mean, even when we define older ones, I'm gonna say older ones is before 2005.
Yeah,
those are the ones that went bloof, called them blooming onions. Shabah,
yeah, late 90s, early 2000 ones. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the holes never line up. You like to put the top on, and like the hole's like 1.5 inches from where it should be. It's
and you shift it, and
yeah, you twist it back, and it's like there's another guy that's like, screw it now, And then the hole's routed out so the screw doesn't hold. The only thing that holds the screw is the tension between the top and the panel pushing sideways, like a fault line. All that's legit because everybody you see that we knew exactly what we're talking about when the other one would mention it because everyone's gone through that with Goodman. Goodman ain't the only one though, so let's not say it's the only one.
I tell you what, man, like I am not a fan of communicating equipment though. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous how much parts cost for a communicating system.
I see you hate progress. Yeah, it's really bad. It's like to me, it's like one of them things. Like it doesn't really make sense once you think about it, except for comfort. If your number one thing is comfort and money, you just like to flush down the toilet, then I can understand that. But if it's for money, then I don't understand because I don't think it works out.
My parents actually had it was a Goodman communicating system or an Amanda, same, Goodman and Amanda, same thing, and they actually just had it replaced and. They had it changed where it wasn't a communicating system because nobody knew how to work on it. I mean, they live in Port St. Lucie in Florida, and nobody knew how to work on a communicating system there. And
man,
it's like, so my dad would call me like, so the thermostat's saying this, and I'm like, okay. And
Yeah, code BOO. What is that? I'm not there, Dad. Just how many blinks are there? This one's not blinking. It's just, yeah. I remember getting some weird. Eventually I figured out the things that were wrong with the communicating systems I worked on, but it wasn't like I could just sit there and I knew what was wrong because of what it was doing. Like a regular, I'll say regular, like a regular system. Oh, it blew a fuse. Let's go find the contactor and see if it's the reason why.
yeah, check between yellow and common, see if you have power. There is no yellow and common in a communicating system because it's four wires, and
Yeah.
it's like A, B, C, D in some of them, and it's like
Oh my gosh. And they're sensitive. It's a sensitive thing where it's like they will stop something before something bad happens to the unit. That's true. But they're so sensitive sometimes that it will stop things that they should just kind of left alone for a little while, or it's so complicated trying to figure out something. It's like something simple made into complicated for the purpose of looking fabulous or
Oh
something.
yeah,
I don't know.
like with a carrier one, the homeowner had they had an infinity system, and they had the older, like, skinnier style thermostat,
Mm-hmm.
and well, their condenser failed. So I changed the condenser out, but the new condenser wasn't compatible with the old thermostat, so I had to get a new thermostat, which cost almost $1,000.
What?
So yes, those thermostats are not cheap. It's ridiculous.
Which thermostat was that? Which system was it? What type
Carrier
again?
Infinity.
So what do they call their thermostat? I can't remember.
It's I can't remember. I don't know the part number or nothing like that. I
No, it
mean,
should have a name. Everyone gets a name now. Like the Infinity has a Dragonfire 3.0 or some kind of crap. Like the Core. I remember the Core was a
I
Bryant
don't. I
thermostat.
always just call it like, because the Bryant is like the Bryant version of the Carrier Infinity is the Bryant Evolution. So I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
you can match. You can use it. Takes the same thermostat. I mean, like I had a homeowner. He, like, it was back in 2020 or 2021 where the computer chips were like,
Yeah.
and so I had he had a thermostat that, like, the screen was cracked, so you couldn't change the settings on it. And he somehow got a hold of somebody in Carrier Incorporate and had him mail them a thermostat directly. I don't know how he did it, and I was like, I've been waiting like forever. Nobody has these in stock. I said, I don't know how you did it, but fine, you got it. I'll come change it.
You want to know the secret to this?
What's that?
It's bitching, is what it's called. It's if you call them and you're angry enough, they want you to go away, and they will give you whatever you want. That's how you see these guys. Besides, like the rich guys who have all the money they spend at supply houses, the guys that go in there and just start reaming people out. They just want that guy out of there. It's like, what do you want from us? I want a coil. Let's pretend like it's Goodman. I want an evaporator coil. Take it. It only costs like $1.50 anyway. Our cost, not the customer cost. I'm sorry, I should say that. Hold on,
I tell you, man.
hold on 1 second before you do that. I'm gonna take one more quick break
All right.
because I've remembered to take it, and that won't happen again later. I won't remember this, so we're gonna be right back after these messages from Lucky Charms, guys. If your business sells IAQ products, you need to find out more about this great program from Jackson Systems and Supply. Modern HVAC and IAQ companies offer a lot of IAQ products, including UV lights, media filters, and much more. With the new AirLink program, Jackson Systems gives the contractors a chance to make money while taking the strain off of the contractor. With so many different types of air cleaners, filtration, and UV lights out there, it's hard for a contractor to remember which one goes where and when it's time to change it. First things first, you have to sign up with Jackson Systems to be an AirLink partner. Use the link on the screen or the one you see in the description. Next, you're going to work with the Jackson Systems guys to figure out what you want to sell, how you want to sell it, figure out what you need to sell it for. They're there to help you make sure you're making money, even though they're putting in the legwork. You can even have your own branding on some of those products. Next, you're going to do your installations like you always have done and show your customers how to scan the QR code and reorder their products. And then find yourself a nice beach or a yacht to sit on because you can sit back and relax, and Jackson Systems will do the rest. Sign up today, jacksonsystems.com/airlink. TreeTech Tools has a wide variety of great test equipment. It covers industrial emissions, cooling and heating service, building performance, and electrical testing. Those and so many more. TrueTechTools.com. Use the Shop Talk discount code to support this show and save 8% off at True Tech Tools. Alrighty, we're back, and now let me ask Chris to unmute. Which is going to get real old real quick doing these interviews. Like, can you please unmute again? Oh, sure. Yeah, I forget. I had some great thought, but now I can't think. I can't remember. I can't think of a Kate about it. I don't know. So we were talking about, communicating systems. The guys in the chat, HVAC verse said it was called Core before, so it's called something else. And Craig says Infinity. I don't know what that is right there. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have read that comment. I can't understand it. So then maybe Ecobees now. Ecobee 3s. Do you see a lot of smart thermostats that are not like the communicating style? Like people just want to get something fancy. They want to Google and to twist it. And,
I like the Google Nest ones. My example I give everybody is my parents are in their late 60s, early 70s, and if I can teach them how to use it, I can teach anybody how to use it. So
why do you like it? Why do you like it so much? Because it's neat looking.
They're so user friendly. I mean, they're extremely simple to use. I mean, I have 2 in my own house. My parents used to live on the other side of town before they moved, and I put 2 in their house. And you can simply control it from your phone. I mean, you can be on the other side of the world, and you can look to see what the temperature is in your house. And if your kids are home and they turn it down real low because you're not home, you can turn it back up and make them sweat. And
yeah, I like that too. I've done that to my wife. I've changed it on her just to see if she'll notice. She does. She does notice. It's fine. It's you got to test people sometimes because if they have like medical problems, they won't sense temperature differences. I'm trying to help people, but it doesn't work out like that. So it's nice to have the Wi-Fi thing. I do use mine. I have like the Cincy thing for some reason. I think because of social media. God bless social media, I guess. The Emerson guy sent me a thermostat. It's like out of the blue. It's like, here's some thermostats. Said, that serves you guys right. I'm not going to mention them at all. And now I am. But I think I actually mentioned it before because they're really nice. They're Cincy's newer ones. The older ones I didn't like, but the new ones, they're Wi-Fi. I use them all the time. I think they're pretty good. So I like them. I have 3 thermostats in my house because you have 2 and I want to be better than you. I have 3. No, I'm just kidding. I have a zone system, so it has 3 zones. I assume you have 2 systems because you do American Home Shield.
No, what? I have a 17 SEER Bryant heat pump split system in my house.
What the world?
Yeah, I got one system with a zone system.
So you do warranty work and you have a 17 SEER system, guys. I think that proves a lot that you guys don't know nothing. He's got a 17 SEER system. What kind of car do you drive? Let's just get into this. What kind of car do you drive?
I got a 2020 GMC Sierra. I have one of my technicians got a 2015 GMC Sierra. My son
you bought it for him? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it was no. So the 2015 was mine, and then when I paid it off in 2020, I bought me another truck, and then I gave that one to him because he had before. Because essentially, it's I have the truck, and then he gets the truck, and it's just we play truck flopperoo every few years. So.
You paid a loan off?
Oh yeah,
this guy has got it on. No, that's great. Okay,
I bought my truck. The 2020, it was in September of 2020. I'll have it paid off in like a couple months. And
wow, nice. Very nice.
But yeah, so my son has a 2002 GMC. That thing's a piece of crap. I hate that truck. But you
just didn't mention that one then.
But before that, he had that one. The one before was a 2002 Dodge Dakota. That thing was a money bucket, but I finally got it to where like it was just maintenance stuff, and it took like 5-6 years to finally get it to that point. And then the last time we got an oil change on it, they said they're like, well, we can't work on this anymore because the frame is cracked. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The frame to the truck had a crack in it, like in a couple different spots. So I had to get rid of it. I mean, because it wasn't.
What's that JB weld for? It has a high tensile strength.
Trust me, I asked around a lot to see if there was a simple fix to it.
Can we
But
just like glue it together, bro?
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah, duct tape fixes everything. I
Yeah.
mean, and
It's gonna take a lot.
and but yeah, I mean, but yeah, and then my wife's got a 2018 Jeep Renegade. So
I'm not familiar. Is that like a middle-sized Jeep?
yeah, it's not like the Wrangler's the big one with that has where you can take the top off or whatever else, and so the
Okay.
Renegade is just a smaller version of it, and just looks square box ish like a Jeep. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you have newer vehicles, really, from my world. That's newer. So congratulations on that. You have multiple thermostats that are smart thermostats. No, like Robert Shaw 9520 or whatever like that. I just remember that one because it's so old. That's pretty good. It's speaking very highly of American Home Shield and the three other companies. 210 is the only one I can think of besides
210, Old Republic, and Cinch used to be Cross Country, and they had like 7 other names, and they're merged. They merged them all together and created and essentially they're affiliated with Sears, which I didn't even know Sears was still a thing.
What?
And
Sears?
Yeah.
Sears and Roebuck?
Yes.
Man, I got some Craftsman tools here. I have some USA Craftsman tools, not these newer ones.
See, I'm a Ryobi
This is Task
fan.
Force, by the way. This is Task Force.
I'm a Ryobi guy. I tell you, I'm right there with that bright green thing right behind you, man.
Oh, yeah, baby. See, that table saw runs off batteries.
That's awesome. See, that's what I love about Ryobi. You can get anything to run off of batteries with it. I mean,
they got a bug zapper, bro. I've got
a tire inflator, man. They got a glue gun you could get if you wanted to. I mean, a hot glue gun. But I've got a tire inflator. I've got 2 flashlights. I've got that little fan. I don't know if you remember, you did a video of it a couple of years ago. It was the little clippy one.
It's right over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fan. That fan is so comfortable, and I mean, it works
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's just small enough, but has enough power to keep you comfortable.
Yeah, you go and do service calls in the attic. That fan's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude! I went walking through a house one time in the middle of summer, carrying that thing blowing on me as I'm walking through the house. Woman looked at me like I was nuts. I'm like, it's hot.
Yeah, I got a fan, man. If you had a fan, you would be using it. The woman's like, let me have your fan. No. It's awesome. Yeah, it's clipped. It's looking at me right now. It's clipped on to where I keep my tool batteries. Yeah, I love that. I got a lot of Ryobi tools because Ryobi makes a whole bunch of stuff no one else makes, like a bug zapper. Like, there's all sorts. I got my mower is Ryobi, 40-volt mower. I've had it for like 7 years.
They have an 18-volt version of it too, because I have one on the garage.
I saw that they had an 18-volt mower.
It doesn't last very long, but I mean, if you got like a couple little strips to do here and there, then it's
you live in a subdivision, it'll hit the spot probably. So, I have like an acre of grass to mow, and I mow it with the 40. It takes a while to do it, but I consider it exercise, and it is exercise, especially in the summertime. I don't know if do you have a smart watch sort of deal?
Yeah, I have an Apple Watch.
So this is the Apple Watch, not so recent, and I have this. It does everything I need, and it tells me, like, if I'm working out, it tells me what my heart rate is. And mowing in like 90-degree heat, your heart rate's like 150. It's crazy after a while because I feel kind of faint, and you look down, it's like 155. It's like, that's why I've been running for an hour is what it looks like. It's nuts how much work it is on your body just to do that. Buy a push mower, you get healthy real fast, or hate life, or both. Sorry, but in the summertime, do you cut your grass, or does a guy cut it because you're busy?
No, I have some kid that lives I think his mom lives a couple doors down. He's a college kid. He pays he charges me $40 another yard like every 2 weeks. So I'm just like,
good deal.
And he mows edges, weed eats. I mean, blows everything off. I mean, I ain't got time for that. So
yeah. When I did like a lot of service work, I hired somebody to do my yard too. Now that I don't do as much service work or any, I cut my own grass. It's fun. I love it.
Don't you have kids that can cut your own grass? I mean,
I do have kids, but I actually do cut the grass because I do like the exercise of it, because it's hard to get good exercise. And as we get older, Chris, you'll find out in the next 3 years when you reach my age that your metabolism starts to drop off like a rock. So I exercise a lot, and you know what? It still takes a lot of work to lose half a pound. I gained 6 more.
Yeah,
a cupcake.
you look at a cheeseburger and you gain 10 pounds just looking at it, and
Yeah, absolutely. And
what
it's so
happens when
different.
you hit 40 and it's like everything goes downhill from there.
It really is. It's gradual. When I was like 20 years old, I drank like 12 regular Pepsis a day, and I was sitting there and I'd eat like 5 burgers, and I was like 150 pounds. I'm 6'3". When I reached like 26, my wife's cooking must have kicked in or something because it was like flunk, and all of a sudden I got to start thinking about health because I started feeling the effects of it, and now it's like it's a battle now. I'm losing the battle of food, but I'm doing exercise, so it's like back and forth.
Yeah, I
It's
love
rough.
food too much to give it up. I mean,
It's tempting, It's comfort after a long day. Have a pizza, it's good. Little Caesars pizza. Be careful.
Friday night is DoorDash Chinese food night. I mean, I look forward to it every week. I mean, so
Wow, he's got DoorDash too. So, American Home Shield can get you everything you need in life. It's pretty awesome, really, when you think about it.
I tell
It's
you,
pretty
man,
good.
there's probably, I think in the area there's 5 or 6 companies max that work for the entire Charleston area, and it's a matter. I mean, I'm one of the top providers, so like I'm like one or two in getting the calls, and because
Wow.
the so it's I've been doing it long enough. I know how to, it's I hear people, they talk it all the time. Warranty companies, you don't make any money. I mean, I love it. I love it. It's easy work. I don't have to pay somebody to give me the work. I mean, I don't pay for leads. I don't pay for nothing like that. It literally is just say, hey, go do this job. Okay, thank you.
May I have another? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. There's
exactly.
20. There's 25 more, pal. Here, thank you.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, it was 5, 6 years ago. Last 2 weeks of June was 100+ degrees every day. I won't ever forget it. I mean, that was a rate. That wasn't even the heat index. Heat index was like 115 every morning, because my max amount of calls I can get per day I think I had it set for 8 calls. Well, they were so maxed out. Every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would get 8 emails. And then I would gradually throughout the day, I get phone calls asking, hey, can I take this call? Can I take this call? Then the next morning, 4 o'clock, 8 more calls come through. I mean, it was nuts. I mean, it was so
Mm.
frustrating because I didn't have a dispatch program back then. And so like my wife would go in my email. She'd write it. I remember we had a composition notebook, and she would write all the information. She would take there'd be four calls per page. She would send me 4 pictures, so there's 16 calls I got to schedule. So I would take the picture and I would like put little notes on each one. So she could write it in a schedule book for me, and I would send it back to her, and then she would send me more later in the day. I mean, it was nuts. It was insane.
Composition notebook. I
Oh
don't know
my
about that.
gosh.
I don't know
Oh my
about that,
gosh. It
man.
was so stressful. I mean, composition notebook and a simple basic schedule book that, just had little, each day of the week and the time windows. I mean, writing it all in a pencil. And I mean, it was so frustrating. I was so thankful when this program American Home Shield uses is called Dispatch Me. And, um, it's the most user friendly dispatch program I've ever used. I mean, it's amazing. I freaking love it. It's so simple. I mean, American Home Shield uses it. 210 uses it. I mean, they literally send the calls directly through the dispatch program, so all the information's already there. And then the ones that don't use it, I literally just manually input them in, and I mean, it'll send a text to the homeowner when we're on the way to the job, and so I don't even have to call if I didn't want to. But I call to make sure somebody's home. But I
Yeah.
mean, and like there's a profile picture you can put on there. I have my picture that I have from when I was holding the championship belt, and and
Awesome. Yeah. Is that
and
the one that's
so
on your phone when you call? Is that the
yes,
one?
yes,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. My
uh,
softball team, I have a church softball team that I coach, and like we've never ever even fathomed being in a championship up until a couple seasons ago. Like I mean, probably 4 or 5 seasons ago, we lost every single game of the entire season. I mean, and then everybody gets to go to the playoffs just because they split the division like with the top. Like there's 10 teams in the league, so they'll do like top 5 and bottom 5, and based on your end of the season record. And so we've always been in the bottom, and every time we go into playoffs, we've always, because it's double elimination, we always lose the first 2 games of the playoffs and it's done. And well, 2 seasons ago, we won the first 2 games of the playoffs. We went into the championship game, so we had to lose twice. And the team before us, they had a game at 7. So if whoever won the 7 played at 8 o'clock against us. If we lost at 8 o'clock, which we did, and so then they had to play again at 9. So the team before us had to play. They were on their 3rd game. We were hitting our 2nd, so they were gassed. And we came into that last game and we won it. And like, I mean, I literally that same night we won, I ordered the championship belt online because I was like, we've never won anything like this. So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna show it off to everybody because I'm so proud of it.
Is that a generic belt, or does it say something about your team?
It says it's a Faith Blue. I can go and get it in the garage real quick. But
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should go and get it.
Let me go get it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll keep everybody. Yeah, I got this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk, where we talk about HVAC sometime. All right. Susie said, "Did Zack just cuss?" No, I don't think I just cussed. The closest thing I said to a cuss word during the show was bitching, I think, just because we were describing what people do to get free stuff. Joe's talking about duckboard. It's typical. Typical Florida. The dark saber?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, so
here we are. Here's the belt.
Oh,
look at that thing.
Yeah, it says Faith Blue 2022 softball champions. Trying to get it in the camera where you can freaking see it.
I could sort of see it. Let me see if I can enlarge it. That'd be even better. I don't think I can, though. I don't remember how to do it. We can see that it's beautiful. I mean, I can see that.
I mean, it's got. I mean, things got the little snaps on the side of it. So I mean, it literally snaps together like a championship belt. I mean, it's fully authentic. I mean, you can custom create the whole thing, and I mean, it's actually not. It was fairly. It didn't cost too much. I was actually surprised at how much it cost. I didn't care when I ordered it. I didn't care how much it was going to cost because I was so excited, and but I was surprised at the cost of it. I was like, wow. I was like, that's actually not bad.
So you mentioned the cost of it several times there. How much?
It was like I think it was $150 or $200, something like that.
$200.
Oh, I'd spend it again in a heartbeat if we won again. I mean, wouldn't even think twice.
I bought the whole team one night.
Well, see, because last year we made it to the championship again last year, and we lost we lost one game, then we won the next one, and so we're in the championship game again. But we lost we were short-handed that night, and so I mean we didn't have everybody we needed that we normally would, and because normally I just stand and yell at everybody and coach and have fun and I'll bat, but if I'm actually playing in the field somewhere, that's a bad thing because we got people there and I'm actually having to run around and
I like DH is good. I like that. DH.
Exactly. That's exactly. Oh yeah, because you can have 2 extra hitters. So I usually extra hit myself, and I'm shouting from the dugout at everybody else in between the innings and stuff. And
that's great. That sounds like a lot of fun. I played softball and got annihilated myself a few times. It was not good. I didn't get a belt out of it, that's for sure. But I do want to ask you, since you chose to get a belt, what's the inspiration for that? Did you watch wrestling?
Yes, I do. Most definitely.
Yes. You said do as in presently.
Oh yeah. I've been watching it since I was in 4th grade, so like that was forever ago. I mean, so
wow.
I mean, yeah. I think I remember seeing the very first Monday Night Raw when it came on, which was I think
in the 90s.
Yeah, it was like 93 or 94. I can't remember. So, but yeah, I've been watching it for way longer than I should be proud about.
Well, I like wrestling too. I haven't watched a whole lot of it recently, but I do like it. I still get sentimental about a lot of stuff. Like when I hear like the Undertaker music, I'm like, here comes the Undertaker. Boom.
Oh my gosh, no joke. So
see, look what I triggered right here. See? Look at that.
I'll tell you.
That was funny.
So the WrestleMania just happened. WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl for wrestling essentially. So, but the big match at the end, I mean, it was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and the cool thing about it is John Cena came out, The Rock came out, Undertaker came out. I was literally screaming at the TV. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "This is my childhood."
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably courtesy of Triple H now.
Exactly.
Everybody back. Like, we got to get all the focus off Vince for a while.
No, yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, I love that too. I mean, when Undertaker comes on, I mean, it's something like it triggers something inside. He's like, wow, it's happening. Even like when you hear Triple H come out unexpectedly, dong.
Yep.
I was like, this is great. I love
Oh
this.
yeah,
I love watching wrestling. I still watch it periodically. A lot of times I'll watch like a highlight or something like that. Like I watched where Cena came out, and then The Rock came out, and then Undertaker choke slammed him. I'm like, this is pretty awesome. They
yeah,
really
yeah.
pulled out all the stops for this thing. They got everybody here. And Undertaker's like, he don't have to come back for nothing. Like he's all set. You know, plus he's like 60 probably now. So
I know he's in his 50s. I don't know exactly how old he is.
he's
I mean,
gotta be
like,
close.
I know John Cena's I think he's 47. So I mean,
Yeah,
which
thinking
I
about
mean,
these guys, they
if
get late.
if I'm in that kind of shape at 47, I would be happy. I mean, you know, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like I don't know, it's crazy how I could. I mean, I could do that maybe in my 20s. I mean, but you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, well, I've definitely power bombed my brother, but it was into like a mattress or something, just because he's little and it was easy to do. When people actually work together wrestling, it's pretty easy to do some of the stuff, which is a lot of fun. When my kids were little, my twins, which they're almost 18 now,
oh my
but when
gosh,
they were really little, yeah, that's pretty nuts. So Andrew's about to turn drinking age, which is unbelievable. But I would line them up at the other end of the room, and I was like, you have to choose which move you want. Do you want the Undertaker choke slam, which is one of the ones, or do you want there was another one I don't remember. I think it was a power slam or something, and then the other one was the double A spine buster from Arn Anderson.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
a lot of times it was choke slam. Everybody chose the choke slam, but I mean, I just always had a spot in my heart for wrestling for some reason. I don't know why it is. It doesn't seem like it's logical to follow that, but I don't know. There's something about it. I just love it.
So Andrew's 20. When's he turn 21?
He turns 21 in November, and the twins'
he's like-
birthdays.
So he's like
November
2 years
12th.
younger than my son because Joe is 22. He turns 23 in November.
Yeah,
So
yeah, about 2 years exactly. And the twins are just a couple years behind them. They were going to be 18 in November, and then of
You
course
got a whole-
Jackson, he's
you
going to
got
be
a whole-
6.
you got a whole family business right there in your house, man. I mean,
None of them, none of them have ever wanted to be part of a trade ever. My older son, no. My middle son, no. None of them. If Jackson I just want Jackson to play baseball. At this point, I just want one kid to play baseball because I played baseball all growing up. I love the sport, and no, now it's like I want to play soccer.
See, that's why I play softball now because it's the old man version of baseball. So
It is really. I played city league softball, but it's been 20 years since I did that.
wow.
That's how. What the crap? That's crazy, and that's actually more than 20. So that's the bad part. And look, it's 9:15. We're gonna have to wrap up soon.
Oh man.
No, we can do it again now that we figured this out. Don't even touch your stuff. I mean, just put your computer in a bag with a microphone. Just set it on the side.
I know, right?
But let's see. What can we wrap up with? Let's see here. Any special things happening? Business things? Anything different happening this summer? Anything at all?
I mean, we're slammed now as is. It's kind of nuts. I mean,
Summer's here.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's the middle of April and summer's here already. It's like this is going to be a long, hot, busy summer.
It was 89 today.
I know.
So,
I know what I'm saying.
crazy.
Yeah, because you're North Carolina, so you got the are you on the coast or?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the coast. So Wilmington is pretty similar. Charleston, maybe a little bit cooler, I guess. It's a little bit more to the north, but yeah, it was 89 today, so I probably 90 there or something.
Yeah. It's pretty
similar
hot today.
environment.
So
Yeah,
So,
a lot of
well,
units
yeah.
falling apart.
oh yeah, it's gonna happen. And
Yeah, money. That's what I used to think. Here, let me ask you this. We'll wrap up with this. I love doing service work for a lot of reasons. One of them was I enjoyed you never knew what was going to happen. You could really have like something where it's like, I'm going to change your run cap, will be done, which is nice. Or you could have like a huge repair that's going to earn you a good bit of money. So I like that you never knew what was going to happen. Do you like that?
I actually love that. I love the fact that you go into every house not doing the same thing. I hate repetition stuff because like that's why I could never when I first started I could never do an install stuff because doing the same thing over every day is boring to me. I get, I'm just like, I want something different. I love the fact that, in between calls you can cool down with the air conditioner and and drink some water, drink some soda, whatever, depending on the time of day and
Don't roll your eyes. Soda's good.
how tired you are and everything else, but But then you go in the next call and never don't. It's never ever the same, which is great. I mean, it's fun. I love it.
Do you enjoy the people, or would you rather the people be away from you?
I try to keep the people away from me. I have like when they start following me around, I'm like, all right, give me just a little bit, let you know what's going on. That's my polite way of saying, hey, walk away and leave me alone. Let me think and do my thing. And I mean, some customers I don't mind, because if they're just wanting to chat, fine, But like, I mean, somewhere they start getting all up in your business and where you can't breathe. I'm like, nah, you gotta leave me alone. Gotta just back off. Give me my space.
You gotta do this. Yeah, so that Corona's almost gone. I feel a lot better now. They'll back up. They'll be like, I think this is Omega strain. It's the final strain. It's to delete the human race. So we'll leave on that notion right there that coronavirus is bad, which we all know. It's still there. I don't think about it at all, but it's still there. It started in Wuhan. Just kidding. The laboratory.
I'm working hard on getting you back to this podcast. Then I've been sitting there bugging you for months. I'm like, come on, let's
He really
go.
was. He really was. He kind of was like, I want to be on the show again. And said, no one's ever said that. What's wrong?
Because it's fun. I'll make your show fun, man. Let's go. I mean, we'll sit here and just talk about random stuff every week, man.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about random stuff than learn anything about HVAC. That's
that's
why these people are here watching. No, they all left. Sorry. Okay.
So they ask questions. I'll be more than happy to answer stuff. I mean, so
Q&A with the home warranty tech.
There you go. Bring it on. Let's go.
Oh no, they're gone. I'm just kidding. Nice.
See, we should have said that at the beginning. Then the chat would have been like completely going crazy.
Well, you can always. There's the internet way is to like bait people by getting on their nerves, like saying something that's like real divisive. Like say, home warranty is really the only way to run your business. That's what you had to lay it out like that. Then the guy in the chat's like, I don't think that's true. I don't like home. Then they just get all festered by it. And it turns into a whole thing. And then you're negative for bringing it up or whatever. Anyhow, Chris, thank you for being on the program this week. And you'll come back. Hey, here's my promise to you, Chris. Now that we figured this out, within the next 4 weeks, you'll come back.
Good. I like it.
How's that?
I'm
Don't
totally
touch your
that.
computer at all. Don't invoice a customer. No. Like we'll try to remember this moment of what happened before, because if we do it closer,
we'll just start. I mean, you can send me the notification like an hour and a half beforehand, and not
the day before.
Yeah, send me the day before so we can start preparing for it. So we don't get it working literally 3 minutes before the show starts, because it was 7:57 when it finally started working.
It's pretty good, actually. We did finish it before the show.
And we were just chit chatting. That's why we started late, because we were just chit chatting, and finally got it working.
I went to the bathroom, everybody.
Yeah, I did too. So
it's a true story, actually. And I'm in a shop, and there's no bathroom, so just figured that out. I went outside, by the way.
But you got an acre of land. I mean, you got to water somehow. So
I did. Yes, I did. That's why I live in the country, so I can do that anytime I want. This is America. That's what we do here in America, and we have guns. Where's my gun at?
No, I don't have those.
I have a gun over there, but it doesn't fire because of a fire. It's weird. Thank you.
You've had a couple of those, so yeah, we'll need to talk about that, because you've had a couple of those. So.
2 guns over there that are ruined because of the fire. But one day I'll restore those. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for coming on. I'm going to play some music, and the rest of you guys can chat amongst yourselves. And Chris, you'll be muted, so you can hang out for a second though.
It was fun, guys.
Oh yeah, as always, a lot of fun. And we'll see all of you happy people on the next one. No, don't make me go. Oh, don't make me go to the ghetto supply house. There's folks on the curb, they've been drinking all day, looking at me with eyes of hate. I just want my condenser coil. There's only one place to find it. No, don't make me go. No, don't make me go to the ghetto supply house. Why must it be me every time? Bobby's not married, his life's worth less than mine. But I guess I'm just tougher, that's what I tell myself. If these guys walk over, I'll poop myself. Oh, no, don't make me go. No, don't make me go to the ghetto supply house. There's needles in the parking lot. Pokey, pokey, poke. Last week, 2 guys, they were shot. Bang, bang, bang. Don't buy the drop cord, it's surely hot. Oh no, don't make me go. No, don't make me go to the ghetto supply house.